Hi, my name is Mac, and I'm an animator working on an animation called Kinji about two mole-cat scavengers who just might have found the treasure of their dream. I'm here at a program called Slam & Co, working with other creatives. We're spending 10 weeks to work full-time on their dream, and this is my progress of the last week here at Slam. Alright guys, it is my last full day at Slam. Tomorrow is our excursion day, but today is the last day here. And today's checkpoint, so that means it's like when everything is over, basically. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of updates of this last week, what I've been working on, and also some other things that I want to talk about too. Final goodbyes and talk about some cherished experiences. And also a Q&A, because you guys asked a few questions here on YouTube, and I wanted to just go over the few questions. Alright, so what did I work on this week? Mostly focused on working on storyboards this week, and I made it to around 470 boards-ish, 479 maybe. Getting there, I'm kind of like working on those boards, but yeah, made a lot of progress. I think last week I was at like 350-ish, 330 maybe, and so I made a lot of new boards. So we're almost there, we're working hard, and Kinji is making a lot of progress. Right now I'm in the final act where big things are gonna happen, and I'm kind of happy that it's ending this way because I don't have to show you guys what's ending is going to be. I think on the storyboard I talked a lot about the story of Kinji, like what's happening in the story in the animation, but I also don't want to give too much away because I feel like if I give so much away, you guys aren't gonna want to watch it because you're gonna know what happened. So I think this last part in the storyboard I can probably keep a secret now, but I will go over some of the stuff that I did do. So basically some of the frames I worked on were like a lot of the propelling scenes. There was a lot of concept art I made about like Tunda propelling down something or Kinji propelling down something with their different types of gear. So Tunda has like this nail gear, and he has like these nails in the back of his backpack that he like clips on, and he uses it to basically propel down this high table area basically. And I like kind of like storyboarding that, thinking about how he would like crunch down or like I guess squat down, even use the nails. Like he's kind of like using him like a climber almost, but it's not like he knows how to climb, so I didn't like research a climber for this one. No, I wanted it to be super intuitive to him. So like how would you like comfortably climb down a high spot when you have like two picks basically? And so he uses a lot of his like legs and like bending and stuff, and his arms as well. And then for Kinji propels using fishing line. So this old fishing line she's found, it's really small, it fits in her palms or her hand, but she propels down it in a very interesting way. And to like visualize that and think about that, at first in the concept art, I just want her to like kind of throw the line down and then use the line to propel down. But then I was like, who would really do that? Like drop a line and hope it's long enough, you know, versus like holding on to the line and stuff like that and going down. Maybe, yeah, I guess either way it would work. So I guess also what I was thinking is like how, if she was holding the line, how would it work? Because like you're holding something that's spinning downward, so you have to hold some tension and kind of like move it downwards. And like a fishing line is a little bit different because it's almost like a yo-yo, you know? I have a yo-yo, I use the yo-yo as a reference to try to think about how Kinji's like hand would be moving as she's like reeling down herself. And she's using her legs to support that reel. So she's like loosening up, jumping down, you know, as she's loosening it up. So she's like, you know, doing these two things at the same time, kind of coordinating in her head. But she's done this before, it seems. So I guess referencing the concept art for that and going back and forth with that was really interesting, and playing around with the different characters' motion was cool. So I think the storyboards are really intricate this time in terms of action and motion, more so than the story. There is some story stuff that I did do, like it continued inside the dollhouse from last week where I was working with them in the dollhouse, so they just arrived at the dollhouse. And so working on a lot of that art was nice, and like how Tunda like reacts when he's in the dollhouse and he's really excited. I didn't want to spend too much time like on each item that he finds, because in the concept art there's a lot of items that he finds in the dollhouse, but spending a lot of time on each one of them I don't think would have pushed the story very much. But I think even the less time that was spent on them made you think how excited he was to see all these new things, and also give you an impression that maybe he's not super attached to these things at the same time. So I wanted to give like instant gratification type of energy that he was giving out. And I think that was portrayed really well. All right, so yeah, those were the boards. Other than that, yeah, it's been my last day, full day here at Slam, with a lot of lasts I've done. I made some like matcha today with one of my last matchas, sip to that. But if you guys didn't know, I was practicing like latte art a lot. I'm not very good at latte art, but I got really close these last few weeks, making it like at least a little bit decent. I've been trying to make like a latte every day just to see, and do some latte art just to see if I can improve. And I feel like I improved just a little bit. Yeah, in terms of Aurelian is doing well. It's my last time seeing him for a while. Tomorrow I'm gonna see him for a little bit, but that'll be it. He's been a really cool plant to take care of. One of the first bigger plants I've personally taken care of. This is gonna be the last official day of watering Aurelian. In my plan over these past 10 weeks that I've been taking care of. And they're just like interesting living. Once he did have an issue like with the overwatering and stuff last week, I was able to kind of like rectify that and work with that and see how he would react. I think he's doing a little bit better, but yeah, he's been a cool dude. Other than that, this week I've been making a lot of videos. I don't know if you guys have been noticing a lot of shorts coming out. I've just been playing around with like different like trends that were going on, like different ideas that I want to put out, and also promoting the Mail Club a lot. If you guys didn't know, the Mail Club is out. The Mail Club that's featuring or surrounding my animated characters, Kinji and Tanda, RWB, and all the characters are going to be featured in the Mail Club throughout the different months. December's month is released now, so if you want to sign up before December 5th, please do, and you'll get December letters and December mail. You get a mini exclusive comic, a letter from me, a letter for one of the characters, and 2 exclusive stickers too. So, I mean, what is there not to love? Also, I want to notice if you did sign up for the Mail Club, please check your address. Some people who would sign up, sometimes their address would be slightly wrong. So if you have an address or an email as well, make sure your address is right. Make sure you check your email just in case I email you. I'm like, hey, can you check and verify your address? Because that can come up with Mail Clubs. A lot of address issues typically come up. Use an active email and make sure to double check your address when you sign up. Collab's going well. It's still alive. If you want some stickers from the collab, they're also available on my website, MackAttacksArt.com. And if you want to check out the bundle for the collab, which is a sticker set with the Mindful Sudoku book, you can go to mindfulsudoku.com as well. But yeah, okay, now let's move into the Q&A. I think I asked a few questions. I asked on Instagram and I asked on YouTube, but I didn't get any comments on Instagram, so but YouTube, you guys kind of pulled through. I got 4 comments from 3 different people, so one person has 2 comments, but I'll reply to your comments and I'll get on with this Q&A. This is my first Q&A, so I've never done this before, but I really wanted to because I think they're really fun to watch on YouTube. Banana-PB2VG asks, how long does it take you per video? To make like a video like this, it depends. Like if I'm just filming is pretty quick. Typically I actually film throughout the week, so random B-roll throughout the week that I just think is interesting. Like if I'm doing a storyboard, I'll film a little bit of it. If I'm like drawing, I'll film a little bit of that. I'll just keep that as like B-roll. Then for these sit-down videos, it takes me like 10 to 20 minutes to sit down and film everything. So not super long. The editing could take longer depending on the video. These types of like recap videos, I feel like the editing's quicker. Maybe it'll take like a full work day to edit. So like 8 hours max. If I want to like add music, sound effects, color it and everything. And then in terms of like the vlog I released last week, that was like the day in the life. That took me a little bit, like 3 days. It's because I was messing around with new ways to edit and putting all the clips together that in a way that made sense. So that just took me longer because I had a lot more footage too. High Moon YT asks, what inspired you to do art and animation? Love your vid. I think it was just when I was a kid. I would watch a lot of Nickelodeon and like Cartoon Network and stuff. And Nickelodeon had these like snippets that came about, and it was just like how to draw like certain characters. And I think when I was a kid, I didn't really know like who was behind making animation. And those videos like showed the creators and stuff. So it was like the co-creator of Avatar was like drawing Aang, for example. That video itself like really inspired me because I didn't know that like a person was behind making this show that I love so much. And that's kind of like what started it all. And then I went onto my dad's computer. He had like Adobe Flash at the time, which is Adobe Animate now, Adobe Flash Micromedia 8, and I started animating there. And I made very like really South Park, type of like wobbly characters that didn't really move like animate very well. And then after that I practiced and finally I improved like slightly, stepping up the ladders. So yeah, that's how I got inspired. Boogie Button asks, if you could have your own animation studio, what would you call it? And what do you think your vision and aspirations would be for it? Ooh, interesting question. So it's kind of funny because last week I was thinking about this and I was like ping-ponging ideas with my partner. And I was like, I was scrolling through like TikTok and I was like, oh, these like cool words you've never known. There's this German word called Fernvale. It's pronounced Fernvale or something. And it's Fernweh. It's kind of like a longing for far away places you've never been to. That's the meaning. And I like that meaning a lot. Not sure how I feel about the word, so I was kind of playing around with the word, but I would want my studio to kind of mean a longing for something away, like wanderlust almost, but not quite that. So I think playing around with those types of names, because I would want like a deep meaning of like adventure almost that you cannot reach, So I think if I had a studio, it would be named something around or like that. We understorm Button also asked another question. Do you have a favorite era of animation? What is your favorite animated media from it? Do I have a favorite era of animation? I don't even know all the animation eras. Honestly, I feel like I haven't watched as much animation as I would want to in like different time periods. I mostly watch animations from like 2000s, maybe occasionally here and there from like the 80s and stuff. stuff. Also the 90s, I would say. I do like, in terms of types of animation, I do like 2D a lot more. I do think 3D for me is more for the story because the visuals are really nice in 3D as well, but they don't hit me the same way as when I see like a 2D visual that's really like captivating and stuff. But I don't know what my favorite media would be from it. I think some of my favorite films that were animated were like The Tale of Princess Kaguya, and that was a really nice film just because I've never seen animation like that for like a whole film, and just imagine like the animators doing that for the whole film was crazy. So I think that was like one of my favorite animated films, even though I've only watched it once. I think animated films I've watched a lot more would be like, I don't know, like Pixar films probably, and like Spirited Away and Ponyo, probably like some of the other bigger ones that I watched. And then like Coco and WALL-E is really good. And I don't know, there's so many different films, and I probably gonna think of a ton more after I've done filming this video. So just give me a minute and I'll think of a bunch more. But yeah, there's just so many that's hard to choose. Like I like a lot. I like a lot of like smaller productions, indie films, and like even animated music videos are really good these days. Like Siamese, that band, they have like a lot of animated music videos. I think they're so cool. You should like check out Summer Nights. I really like that music video. It like really hits the heart. Hey guys, I'm back in Michigan. I'm editing actually, but there's another question that you guys asked, so I wanted to answer it real quick. This one is from Mila Lulo Lee. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Any tips for new artists who want to start or join on passion project? I'm gonna answer the start one because I haven't really joined somebody else's passion project unless you count like corporate stuff and like all that other things. But for art, I've never really joined on somebody's like passion project in that sense. But starting your own, here are my tips. So my first tip is do a little bit of research, but don't do too much research. Doing some research into like the project that you want to do, like for me, animation, the whole animation process. I did some research on that, just like the general things to get like an idea of what I wanted to do or what I should be doing too. Because just in case I decide to really work on a team, I kind of know like how the process and the pipeline works. So I think a little bit of research, but not too much, because there was like some research I did, like you want to do an animation, you really need to know your anatomy, which is true. To get better at animation, you should know anatomy. But I'm not the best at anatomy yet, and I didn't want that to stop me from actually animating. So I think like not stopping my whole process of making Kinji because my animation skills aren't like up to par to where I want them to be would have been like a bad thing to do. So I think just start where you are and work on your passion project and little steps, cut them all into like little pieces. For me, I cut it into pieces like you have your character design, your model sheets, you know how I spread it out like that, step by step, work on each step, maybe give you like a week or two to do each step, like a deadline too, because I think deadlines help so you're not like just staring at the project forever. But still take your time in terms of like, if you don't think something looks as good as you can do right now, then yeah, spend more time on it and stuff like that, and just work on it every day for a little bit. Even if it's not like doing a ton of things, just like here and there, draw something, write something, depending on what you want to do, film something. Just have something you're doing every day with that little project you're working on. But yeah, those are the Q&A questions. So if you guys have a question, leave in the comments below. Maybe at the end of every video I can do like a Q&A type thing. That would be kind of cool. But I think next time I'll ask a little bit earlier so I can get more questions in. But it was fun to answer a few of you guys' questions. Anyway, so I guess that's the end. I don't think there's any more updates. Now I'm just gonna be moving out of my little space and headed back to Michigan. So by the time you're seeing this video, I'll be in Michigan already. Maybe you guys will see this video a little bit later because I'll be in Michigan, but I'll be packing up, and tomorrow we have this big trip. I feel like a few things or a few recollections that I have for this being the last week is that I'm really sad to see, like, this is the last time I'm going to see pretty much everybody for like a long time, maybe not till like next year or something. So I'm a little bit sad, kind of like bittersweet moment that I'm having. We all said goodbye, a little goodbye dinner and stuff like that, and it was really nice. It was cool to end, like, I guess this whole 10 weeks with like a final finale. Rose hosted a cinema night and we all went. Some of us came out to help her set up. I also had to have a booth at the cinema night, which was pretty cool because it's been a while since I tabled an event before, and I got to pair with Megan and we both like sold our respective items. I had my stickers, Megan had her Sudoku books, and we had our collab in the middle. It was pretty cool. People came up and we were like talking to them about our like passions and things. So I think that was really fun. Our table was downstairs with some of the food vendors. We got to kind of see how crowded everything was getting, and it was like really packed event. Even the cinema area, I guess you could say, was really packed upstairs where we were watching the films. So many filmmakers came up. They were just giving us a little speech before each of their films, and they were talking about it. And I feel like everybody there had some sort of like energy or passion towards a project that they were working on, and good ending to this all. And now we're finally going on this little trip to Sausalito. We're all gonna go explore around, have some fun, stay at an Airbnb for the night. I'm headed out really early in the morning back to Michigan, and I'm kind of sad about it. Like, like today's the day. Like I literally took all my luggage. It's downstairs, and we're headed out. So yeah, it's been a really fun 10 weeks. I never thought I would be in a place like this. I think a biggest struggle that I have, I don't know if it really shows through videos, that I have really low self-esteem sometimes with some of these things. Like, it's hard for me to even say I'm an animator, even though I'm like doing this whole process step by step, because I'm just like, I'm not as good as the grades. I'm not as good as the people that you see online, even like some people on Instagram that are just like way better animators than I am. And that kind of gives me like a lot of imposter syndrome when I'm doing this stuff. But I think like meeting all these different people who are also working on their dreams, some of them also really like in different paths in life and like different ideas of who they are, and like I feel like we all sort of like, there was a point where we didn't know if we could believe in ourselves, and then now we kind of do a little bit more because we've like proven that in 10 weeks we could do all of this. We could follow our dreams, we could spend full time working and focusing on one thing, and feeling like we can really do it, and we have like a whole community next to us. And I think it's hard to do things alone, and when you're with other people, surrounded by a group of people that are just passionate about so many things and care about each other, then it really helps. So I'm gonna miss this. I will definitely try to stay in touch, but it's been a good time. It's been a good time. Sad. So if you're watching this, anybody from SLAM, and you're seeing this video, I just want to say I had a really good time here, and it's been really fun to be in SF, meet a bunch of new people working on their own creative endeavors, and I'm feeling really grateful. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright guys, this is apparently a call booth, so if you have a call you go in here. But it's the only room I've really never been in, and I've been here for like 10 weeks, never went in. So I'm gonna check it out. Okay. Whoa, what the heck? This is crazy!